Man, Ulberg is completely fucked. Yes, Ulberg up against the cage. Don't do anything stupid in your fight. Oh! No, Yuri's down. No fucking way. Oh, but he's recovering. He's not Alex Pereira, is he? Oh, he is. Oh, he's fucking slept him. No way. No fucking way. Oh, a left hook. What was he doing? What a fucking spastic. Oh, my God. How do you fuck up a free win? Oh my God, we have the worst fucking light heavyweight champion of all time. Fuck, bring back Ankalaev, bro. No way Ulberg clutched that shit up, man. Oh my God, Yuri, you fucking fumble of all time. How stupid could you be to fuck that up? Oh, Carlos Ulberg with the belt. That's so tragic, man. That's so tragic, man. Yeah, I'm sure him and Dan Hooker are going to celebrate tonight for sure. For sure. Our worst nightmare as UFC fans has come true as Carlos Ulberg knocked out Jiří Procházka in what was one of the most clutch performances, but also one of the biggest fumbles of all time by Jiří Procházka. As Carlos Ulberg was on one leg and Jiří Procházka did everything in his power to lose that fight after a great performance, exposing Ulberg with the leg kicks early on. And I had my live reaction at the start, and it's just so tragic to see Yuri lose that way. I must say, this card was fucking unbelievable. It was literally a GOAT card. It was always going to be on paper. But, oh my God, we've lost yet another division. We've lost another division. We now have one of the most boring champions in history. Definitely the most boring light heavyweight champion in history. At least Magomed Ankalaev had the Dagestani hype. You know, that kind of a case. You know, Carlos Ulberg has a city kickboxing clout, which hasn't been relevant in years. And he caught Yuri with a beautiful check left hook. And that's all she wrote. Yuri went down after just a good performance. He exposed Ulberg with the leg kicks. Ulberg completely, I'd say, tore his ACL. I don't really know what happened yet. Medical shit hasn't really come out at the time of recording this. But Yuri fumbled so bad, and it hurts. It hurts so bad. We needed a fucking good champion at light heavyweight with Pereira gone, which Pereira was carrying the division for so many years. And we fucking couldn't even get that, man. Fucking Carlos Ulberg is champ. Like, that's so ass, bro. It's so ass, bro. We're going to have to sit through an Ankalaev versus Ulberg. Like, light heavyweight is forever going to be carried by Peter Yan co-main event. Let's be real. Let's be fucking real here. Carlos Ulberg as champ is so boring. He has no personality, no good moments. Fair enough if you're from New Zealand and stuff like that and you might know Carlos Ulberg. But as a European MMA fan, no fucking chance in the hell am I staying up for Carlos Ulberg versus anyone. Khalil Roundtree, anyone. I'm fucking Yuri. Oh my God, you fucking had it in the bag. You had it in the fucking bag, and you just had to fuck it up. You just couldn't win. What's wrong with winning? Please. Oh, I remember watching it, and I was just like, how did that happen? That's my question. How did he lose that fight? He was so in control. Ulberg had nothing for him. Yes, Ulberg had decent low kicks and stuff like that. Carlos Ulberg doesn't hit as hard as Alex Pereira. And he's still chin Yuri. Maybe Yuri's not as got a good a chin as I thought, but still, Khalil Roundtree landed. Jamal had moments. But Carlos Ulberg was the one to knock him out. Everything I said in my prediction kind of was happening. And I was extremely confident as the fight was going on. And maybe that's exactly what Yuri was like. And then to finally just get caught, it was just brutal. Because we all know Ulberg is so fucking boring and no one cares. And the Carlos Ulberg era will never be remembered. He was literally one win, one loss away from never ever being relevant and never getting in the main event. Never. It's just so shit because Jiří Procházka is such a good champion. And we needed an entertaining style like that. And it would have brought so much juice into 205. And now it's just dead. It's just another division fucking wasted, man. Fucking dead as shit. Fuck the UFC. Honestly, I love it too much. I don't know why I love this sport. This is actually hurting me. This one fucking hurts. This one hurts. As someone who's lives and breathes this sport and knows we're in a difficult time right now, fuck me, man. He just had to fuck it up, didn't he? He couldn't actually go and win the fucking fight. He had to just do some samurai shit. No, not like this. I must finish him honorably. And now look what happened. You got fucking slept because of it. He felt bad. He felt bad for Carlos Ulberg because of his leg. Who gives a fuck? Now look what happened. He didn't give a fuck how you felt. And now it's the worst champion in light heavyweight history. Give me Ankalaev over Carlos Ulberg. Honestly. It's so shit, bro. And it's just the fact that we were so close to getting such a good champion, and a champion we needed right now. And it would have just fitted so perfectly into the champions that we have now. And now we have just someone so boring, so dull, so lifeless. No good moments, no funny moments. Fucking nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. The only way this is going to work is if we have him versus Ankalaev on a Volk versus Gene Silva card. That's the only way this is going to work. And then Ankalaev wins. But then Ankalaev as champion is so boring as well. Oh, it was just made for Jiří Procházka to win. It really was. This whole thing, this whole build-up, this whole fight week, I thought it was too perfect. And then the fight was going perfectly. The low kick. I thought this was Jiří Procházka's night. This was Jiří Procházka's night. And you can't keep using the little title shot glitch. You can't keep doing that. You can't keep giving Jiří the title shot. And he's had like 4 undisputed title fights now. Can you give him another one? Or 3 maybe? 3 or 4. Can you give him another one? No matter how many times he wins. Can you? As much as we all wanted. And I don't even think Carlos Ulberg is that good. It's so boring. 205 is dead. 205 is dead. No one gives a fuck about Carlos Ulberg. No one gives a fuck about Magomed Ankalaev. No one gives a fuck about Khalil Roundtree. Paulo Costa is our only hope. Paulo Costa is our only hope and saviour. And I hope if Paulo Costa ever fights for an undisputed title, that Paulo Costa blasts Carlos fucking Ulberg's chin into fucking oblivion, even though he won't. But heartbreaking, bro. Heartbreaking. Devastating. This one's been on my mind all day of just like, oh, it just... I wanted it so bad. I wanted the Jiří Procházka title run so bad. I wanted round 2. I wanted a real Jiří Procházka title run. Not the fact that he had to give it up because of injury. No. I wanted a real one. And he just fucked it up so bad because he felt bad for his opponent and then the opponent knocked him out. It's just, it's heartbreaking, bro. There's not, like, this fucking sport ruins me every single week, bro. I swear to God. The MMA gods are just laughing. Like, fair enough, Carlos Ulberg came absolutely clutch with the left, with the left hook and the check left hook, and it was a beautiful shot. And you can't hate Carlos Ulberg for winning a fight. But I want to so bad. I want to so bad because of how entertaining Jiří is and how much we all love Jiří, and Carlos is so boring. He's so fucking boring. He's so boring. No one cares, bro. People from New Zealand probably don't even give a fuck about Carlos Ulberg because he's no personality. He's no funny moments. He's nothing for us to get excited for. Yes, he can knock people out. But still, there's no build-up, there's no anticipation, there's no hype, there's no nothing with Carlos Ulberg, apart from dread that he takes up a fucking slot on a pay-per-view when we could have had Jiří Procházka. Oh, he fucking fumbled it so bad. And it just pisses me off the fact that he did so well and was just a fucking retard. Why didn't you just keep mashing away the low kicks? Let's talk about the actual fight. Jiří did so well with the low kicks early on. And he was butchering the low kicks of Ulberg. All he had to do was stay at range for the rest of the fight. Keep chipping away at Ulberg. And he would have got him at one where Ulberg went down and Jiří would have been able to ground and pound him. Or when Ulberg did go down, just jump on him and land some ground and pound then. You're the one doing the damage on the leg. You're the reason that leg is fucking mangled. You were the reason. And he just didn't. And Ulberg had some moments on the feet and things like that. He caught him in an absolutely beautiful check left hook. Like, let's be real, that was an unbelievable shot from Carlos Ulberg. But Jiří just was such a fucking idiot and such a retard and such a degenerate and so nice, so kind that he couldn't finish. He couldn't let his opponent be finished by low kicks. But now look, you're no longer in the title picture. Who are you going to fight now? Who are you going to fight? And I thought the whole build-up, I had seen Carlos Ulberg's fights. I thought this was how it was going to go. If you look at my preview, I kind of predicted it very well. Because Carlos Ulberg just at range, chomping at low kicks. No entertaining. He's not entertaining. He's going to lose to Ankalaev. Roundtree gives him problems with the body kicks. He's vulnerable there to get kicked in the calf. Carlos Ulberg and Dan Hooker are going to celebrate like mad. And Izzy's going to get in there as well. That City kickboxing team, Kai France will get in it as well. Maybe he'll be on the cook chair. Who knows? But they're going to celebrate hard, especially Dan Hooker and Izzy. I would imagine will show Carlos Ulberg how to really party. You know, because they've had some massive opportunities like this. That's the only reason why they know what this celebration would feel like. No other reason at all. So yeah, fucking fumble, pissed off, angry, heartbroken, sad Yuri lost, sad we have another division ruined by a boring ass fucking champion with no entertainment, no value, and no personality at all. Wanted Jiří Procházka to win because he's everything we love about MMA. He's everyone's favorite fucking fighter. It's bullshit, man. Fuck Carlos Ulberg, fuck City Kickboxing, because they're just boring fucking twats. Even though he had an incredible performance, and yeah, it's sad. It's sad. Co-main event. I called it perfectly. Paulo Costa versus Azamat Murzakanov. Called this fight perfectly, except I picked Paulo Costa via decision. Paulo Costa's our only hope. I hope Paulo Costa goes on and smashes Carlos Ulberg. And I'm actually a fan of Carlos Ulberg. That's the thing. But just as champion, I'm not a fan of that at all. But Paulo Costa was incredible in this fight. Even though Azamat had like moments in round 2, kind of like the second half of round 2, he actually started landing on Costa because Costa looked slow. But Paulo Costa is so big for 205. So big. Like, this dude could probably compete a heavyweight if we're being real. But he's so much bigger than Azamat. And I knew that going into this fight. I knew Azamat had beaten Rakic, but people forget, man. Paulo Costa looked incredibly good against Kopylov. Like, way better than a lot of people would like to admit. And lighter man scale, Paulo Costa is actually pretty decent. Yeah, he nearly knocked out Robert Whittaker. The very close rival Robert Whittaker. Azamat, too fat, slow, bit of a blob. Paulo Costa, and Azamat got mentally broken, quit in that cage. Just be real. And no disrespect, but that's what happened because he chose to go down. And if you look at the fight we're going to talk about after this, Curtis Blades, that proves to me that was a choice to go down. And Costa gassed as well, but he just wanted it more than Azamat, to be honest with you. So, listen, I like Paulo Costa. I was very happy to see him win. I was chuffed with the prediction. I think he's very good for the division. I think with the lack of stars at 205 in particular, the lack of name value, we need like a Paulo Costa in there kind of stirring shit up and really getting things going because Khalil Roundtree ain't gonna do shit. Magomedov Live ain't gonna do shit. Jiří Procházka was our only hope and he fumbled one of the biggest fucking bags of all time. But yeah, Azamat just was one step behind. The body kicks really started to add up for Paulo Costa. The low kicks were there, nice jabs, but the body kick, just the kicking game in general was extremely good. And Azamat couldn't find the range because Paulo Costa was so much bigger than him. He was so much bigger than him. And listen, I think Paulo Costa versus Khalil Roundtree is an exciting fight. I would love to see that one next. Maybe even Costa versus Jiří would be good. I would be picking Jiří to win that. I can't believe Jiří lost, man. Fuck, bro. That's so sad. I hate this fucking sport. I really do. So yeah, great win for Paulo Costa. You know, he was shooting, he got taken down and stuff like that, but all in all, I was quite comfortable the whole time with Costa. I knew he was going to be a lot sharper. I knew his movement was way better, and the kicking game just was on a different level. I'm very happy with this prediction. Called it quite well. And listen, it's going to be interesting to see how Costa fits into the division. It's going to be very interesting to see how Costa fits into the division. I saw some people say how good is Israel Adesanya, and that's funny because those memes are just funny to me. I love those memes. But yeah, Azamat didn't really look like he was a threat in there to Costa, even though in the second he was landing. But I always thought Costa was a little bit better, a little bit more skillful, a little bit more slick on the feet. And when those body kicks added up, you better believe Costa was just kind of hammering away at them and just adding up, chipping away. And then when Azamat went down, mentally he was completely done. He waved it off, and Paulo Costa walks away with a great win. And listen, we need names at light heavyweight. We need them now. We can't afford to wait another year to at least get a half decent champion. But now that Yuri's out of the title picture, I think our only hope at a half decent champion is Paulo Costa, because the rest of these guys are just so fucking boring. No one wants to see Roundtree champion. Nobody wants to see Ankalaev as champion. They're all boring. I just hate that light heavyweight so bad because we had Pereira for so long. And it's heartbreaking, bro. It's heartbreaking that it's just heartbreaking that Carlos Ulberg is champion. And listen, I said fuck Carlos Ulberg earlier in this video. I didn't, it's me, I apologize. I didn't mean that because I actually do like Carlos Ulberg. I do. But Jiří Procházka's everyone's top 10 favorite fighters ever. And it's tough, man. It's tough. I cry. Curtis Blades versus Josh Hodke in literally, I swear to God, no joke, one of the greatest fights that you will ever see. Not literally every second of this fight was absolutely cinema, absolutely perfect. Absolutely every single thing I love about MMA was jammed into this 15-minute fight. Curtis Blaydes refused to go away. Josh Hockett refused to go away. The amount of times that I thought either one of these guys were finished is incredible. Josh Hockett knocked Curtis Blaydes down early and he really hurt Blaydes, and I thought, fuck, either Blaydes is going to recover and kind of take over from here, or Josh Hockett is going to chin him and finish this fight. Now, neither of those things happened because Josh Hockett was not going away. Curtis Blaydes was not going away. This is every single thing we love about MMA, and I feel like Curtis Blaydes dug extra deep because he was not letting Josh Hockett finish him. The antics all week, I thought Josh Hockett was an absolute bellend all week, but if you're an MMA fan and you don't sit there and respect what Josh Hockett's done now, you're just a hater, okay? You can say he was a gimp in the build-up because I was saying that as well, but now that he's gone in there, put a performance like that on, that is how you earn respect. And full respect for Josh Hockett because he refused to go away, he dug, and it was literally just one of the best scraps I have ever seen. It was unbelievable. I genuinely think that is the biggest war in MMA history. I really do. Like that was special. You will never see a fight like that again. Every single second was entertaining, and every single second these guys were in each other's face. 1 minute Hockett is landing up against the cage, then he points the middle finger, then Blaydes lands a jab, then he's up against the cage. It was absolute cinema from the very second it started till the very end when it was over. I absolutely loved it. I loved every second of this fight. I think it was literally every single thing I love about MMA. And listen, you could have had Blaydes winning. If we want to go there. You could have gave Blaydes 2 and 3. If you want to go there. But I gave Josh Hockett. I gave Josh Hockett the fight. I think the fact that he knocked him down in the first has an influence, but it was very close. I gave it 29-28, Josh Hockett. Curtis Blaydes, though, you have to give him respect. You have to give him respect. I don't know, like, you could give Curtis Blaydes 3. You could give Curtis Blaydes 3. But I feel like Josh Hockett was doing just a little bit more damage. Because when he was hurting when they landed, okay, if we're being real, this is what won Josh Hockett the fight. When they both landed, Curtis was kind of just like jabbing and hitting 50% of his shots. Josh Hockett was hurting Curtis Blaydes like 90% of the time when he was hitting him. Not 90, but a good solid amount of times. And he wobbled him a lot. He dropped him a lot. Curtis was on skates once or twice. So that is absolutely going to be a massive factor heading into this fight because heading into the decision, I should say, because they're going to look at how many times we were like, oh my God, he's about to get finished here, compared to when Blaydes had Josh Hockett up against the cage. He was landing, but there was never one shot where I was like, oh my God, he's going to put him out fucking cold here. Blaydes was hurt from the beginning, and I think that definitely affected his gas tank because he was kind of in recovery mode. There was a few takedown failed attempts. Josh Hockett's got good takedowns, even though Blaydes did get him down eventually. But from start to finish, this fight was just absolutely incredible. It was literally one of the best fights I think I have ever seen, if we're being honest with ourselves here. And, you know, even though Josh Hockett did knock down Blaydes in the first, Blaydes clearly got the first round, in my opinion. I gave 2 and 3 to Hockett. I should probably say that. I don't know why I didn't say that from the start. But you could give 3 to Curtis Blaydes. That's the thing. Round 2 was quite clearly Josh Hockett. Round 3, though, that's a swing round. You could give round 3 to Curtis Blaydes, but I think round 1 is definitely Curtis Blaydes. And I gave round 2 and 3 to Josh Hockett. Even though when I kind of first watched it, I was like, you know, Blaydes might have just nicked that. Blaydes might have just nicked that in a scenario where Josh Hockett loses, but his stock just goes completely through the roof, and it was just a little bit much too soon. Blaydes is an absolute veteran, but I rewatched it. He probably did land the more effective shots, even though Blaydes probably did land a little bit more. Josh Hockett was definitely just doing that bit much more damage. And when he was hitting Blaydes, he was rocking Blaydes. He was making sure Blaydes was in trouble anytime he got clean shots off. And I can't believe the speed that Josh Hockett was having late on in the fight as well. That's one thing that really surprised me. Even in the later rounds, Josh Hockett was still quick. He was still maneuvering. And Blaydes would come out of nowhere and land like a 4-piece combination with like first round speed in like the third round. Like the whole fight was just absolutely crazy. It's why we love MMA. It's why we love MMA. Every single thing about it was perfect. The sport is amazing, but fuck me, it breaks your heart more times than it doesn't. And if you want a friend to get him into UFC, you show him that fight, because every single second of that fight, and Blaze was like, "Fuck this, I'm not going away. If you're gonna put me out, you need to kill me," because the amount of shit Josh Hockett was doing during the week, Curtis Blaze was making sure there was no stone unturned. He was not going down unless he was completely out like a light switch. You gotta respect it. You gotta give Josh Hockett his flowers. Respect is earned, and he's completely earned 100% of my respect. Even though anytime he fights, I probably want to see him get chinned by his antics, but I will forever be a Josh Hockett fan with that performance. How can't you be, if we're being real, boys? But Dominic Reyes versus Johnny Walker. I had picked Johnny Walker to win in what was quite lackluster. I think Dominic Reyes won. I gave him rounds 2 and 3. I saw one just give Reyes 1, which is a bit weird, but kind of what you expect. Wasn't exactly massively entertaining. Wasn't the fight we were all expecting. By massively entertaining, I mean this fight wasn't good at all. Dominic Reyes landed 34 strikes. Pretty tragic. And I won't be in a rush at all to go rewatch this fight. At all. And yeah, it's a win for Dominic Reyes, but it was just a terrible fight. I thought it was a terrible fight, to be honest with you. But Dominic Reyes' title run starts now. Maybe he'll get back on Carlos Ulberg with that one. And we'll see what happens with them in the future. It honestly kind of reminded me a bit of a sparring match. But I thought Dominic Reyes got it done in literally the scrape of his teeth. No one really was urgent. No one was really moving forward in a way where they felt like they had to finish the fight. There was no urgency on literally anybody's end. But still, we'll go with Dominic Reyes on that one, but it was not a good fight. Cub Swanson calls it a career in very impressive win against Nate Landerwell. And boy oh boy, Cub Swanson calls it a career in one of the biggest G's that the UFC has ever seen. Low kick Cub. Yeah, it's sad to see Cub go, but I'm very happy that he got to finish. Very happy that he's able to go out like this. Vintage Cub Swanson. Definitely very, very sharp on the feet. Excuse me, Leighton Anderwell. Another guy that should retire. But damn, Cub Swanson was always one of those guys. Even people outside the UFC know who Cub Swanson is. What a career he's had. And I think the fact that he finished it with a first round TKO win over a guy like Nate Landerwell is the perfect ending. And listen, very happy for Cub. Look sharp, look quick. Nate Landerwell just was way too slow in there for Cub. And Cub's output was a lot more offensive, a lot more effective. And yeah, it's good to see Cub walk away with they probably should have I'm sure Dana White will sort him out a little bit more than usual, but good to see Cub Swanson get the win there. And what a career he's had, one of the OGs. I believe he was the last WEC fighter in the UFC. So the WEC era officially died last night, which was my birthday, which is kind of weird. Officially died last night with the loss of Cub Swanson in the mix. But all in all, couldn't be happier for Cub. Great career. He's given us some banger matchups over the years. And yeah, Nate Landerwell probably needs to retire as well. Patricio Pitbull versus Aaron Pico. I was impressed with Aaron Pico in this fight. My friend texted me saying that is MMA right there with the performance Aaron Pico gave. Definitely a lot of clean strikes. Definitely a lot of good takedowns. I still don't think Aaron Pico beats anybody that can win a belt. I think Gene Silva would absolutely decapitate him. I think Diego Lopez would make light work of him. If you're getting flatline KO'd by Lerone Murphy in a highlight reel way that everybody sees, I think that is one of the worst looks that you could have against a decision fighter, if I'm being honest with you here. As much as I think Aaron Pico looked good, and I don't even think he looked bad against Murphy. I think he actually looked pretty decent against Murphy up until he got caught. Aaron Pico loses to anybody good. And you're getting flatline KO'd by Lerone Murphy. What is Gene Silva going to do to you? What is Diego Lopez going to do to you? What is, Valicia Costa going to do to you? Arnold Allen would absolutely run rings around you. As much as I think Aaron Pico looked good, and as much as I think Aaron Pico was an absolutely massive improvement, and he was always one step ahead of Patricio Pitbull, that does not give me any hope that he's going to be a top contender. Simply because Patricio Pitbull has one win against Danny Ige. I forgot he even beat Danny Ige, to be honest with you. He only has one win against Danny Ige, and he's a Bellator fighter. As much as, like I said, as much as his performance was good, you can't take a lot of positives out of it with the implementation of the grappling, the good strikes that he was landing, the way he was getting the takedowns, his offense on the ground. Definitely looked good. And I think Aaron Pico has potential. But I've been hearing this for so many years about Aaron Pico with the whole potential. And Aaron Pico's always been a prospect. People that don't watch MMA don't know that this isn't, this isn't a case of people only thought Aaron Pico was good because he was coming in the UFC. He was a bit like Chandler, where a lot of people looked at him outside the UFC and thought, holy shit, this guy is actually pretty fucking good. But then he just gets knocked out by anyone that's half decent, bro. That's kind of the story of Aaron Pico's career. Definitely a massive improvement, though. I thought, he was doing very well with the way he was moving his head. Patricio Pitbull just looked one step behind at all time, but he is a Bellator fighter. And he's like 38 years old. If you have a look at the strikes here, I'll just move myself up here. Total strikes in the entire fight. Pico was definitely ahead. First round, I thought Pico was doing quite well with the movement. Second round, a lot more strikes. Implemented takedowns in this one. Only got one in the first round. And then the last one, 3 takedowns. Just implementing the grappling when he needed to. Pure MMA, I do agree with a certain extent. But opponents are everything. But all in all, I thought Aaron Pico looked good. I thought Aaron Pico looked sharp. Still doesn't beat anybody of notoriety in the division. He always looks good against these kind of fighters. I'm not getting my hopes up, especially not because he's a Bellator fighter, especially not because he beat a Bellator fighter. So yeah, all in all, pretty good performance there from Carlos Ulberg, Aaron Pico, fuck. But Kevin Holland versus Randy Brown. Interesting fight. Wasn't exactly the barn burner I was thinking. I definitely thought that Randy Brown was going to win. Holland was just a little bit more active. Holland definitely won the fight, I thought. I probably had a Holland win in every round, to be honest with you. It was a good performance from Holland. I thought he was going to get Randy Brown out there with that Darce choke in the second round, I think it was. Holland is so dangerous on the ground. People forget, man. Holland is extremely dangerous on the ground. He can wrap you up in submissions, especially if you're wobbled. If you're in a state of tiredness or you've got cracked by a shot, Kevin Holland can really wrap you up. He does have serious jiu-jitsu. He's a jiu-jitsu black belt. And he is a top fighter when he wants to be. It wasn't the most entertaining fight because I thought Randy Brown was very wary of when he was going to engage. Very wary of when he was going to engage. And I think Holland is extremely dangerous at range at this weight. I think at 170, Holland is extremely good at keeping the distance, finding the shots, and shot placement. And the fact he has that jiu-jitsu background makes him very dangerous. Now, he is more of like a... Holland's not really one to take you down and then submit you. It's kind of like if he hurts you. That's kind of when Holland's very dangerous. Or you end up in a scramble and he kind of ends up on top. Holland's never going to be the guy that shoots for a double leg, takes you down, and then works his way to a position to get a submission. Holland's never been that guy. Holland is never going to be that guy. He just doesn't have the wrestling pedigree to really maneuver himself when he's on the ground to put himself in bad positions. Or dangerous positions, I would say. But he can get in dangerous positions under his circumstances. And that's what makes Holland very, very dangerous. And Randy Brown did extremely good to escape that Darce stroke. Randy Brown did extremely well. Holland did a lot better on the feet than I was expecting. I did expect Randy Brown to be too rangy, kind of just find the distance that little bit better like he's done in the past. I know he got fucking blasted by JDM, but apart from that, Randy Brown's pretty decent. I remember he had a sick fight with Chaos Williams back in the day. He actually got knocked down and won a round, which is crazy because he was doing that much output later on in the round. And Rude Boy smooth with it. And listen, this was one of my dream fights on paper. I won't lie, I was so hyped for this fight. I wouldn't necessarily say disappointed, but I thought it was maybe could have been a little bit more exciting at moments, especially when Randy was holding him up against the cage and things like that. But Holland did what he had to do. Holland was good at range, nearly got that submission. It would have been very, very impressive if Holland had got that submission. But all in all, good performance from Holland there, and I like it, man. I liked it. Mateus Gamrot versus Esteban Ribovic. Nothing crazy to say here apart from Mateus Gamrot looked absolutely incredible. Very easily was getting Esteban Ribovic down. And the fact Mateus Gamrot got a submission as well, I think we need to give him a lot of credit, to be honest with you, because it was quite boring there for the first round. It was actually extremely boring. Didn't look like he was maneuvering, just looked like he was holding him down. And I was kind of worried that's what the fight was going to turn into. And it was that fight up until he got him submitted. But the fact he was finishing him on the ground, Esteban Ribovic is much more of a striker, though. That's the thing. And when it comes to wrestler versus striker, I'm always betting on the wrestler. I picked Mateus Gamrot in this fight. I thought he was good money. And yeah, I mean, he did what he had to do. It wasn't exciting at all. You know, the fact he got the submission definitely saved a lot of brownie points. You know, definitely saved a lot of brownie points. And I won't be too hard on Mateus Gamrot because he stepped up against Oliveira and he's finishing opponents. But it wasn't necessarily massively entertaining. You know, Mateus Gamrot's not a guy to land vicious elbows or really put any kind of deal with ground and pound with his hands when you're on the feet, because he just doesn't. He has kind of pillow hands. He does have kind of pillow hands. And I like Mateus Gamrot. I think he's good. He isn't exactly going to win a title, but he is going to beat a lot of these kind of up-and-comers. Do you know what I mean? I think him versus Viziev might be a good fight and things like that. But all in all, pretty good performance. The rest of the card, Tatiana Suarez put up a nice finish in this fight. It was a good scrap. I enjoyed it. She definitely looked a lot more dominant when she got the takedowns. Picking the shots well when she had to. And she looked good in this fight. And it wasn't the worst fight I've ever seen. The fact she was able to get the finish definitely screamed a lot of volume. Takedowns as well were sharp. And she's very dangerous on the ground. Tatiana Suarez is one of the most dangerous strawweights on the planet, if not one of the most dangerous strawweights on the planet, when she's able to get you down in those positions. Quite similar to Holland in ways. But it was a good performance from Tatiana Suarez. And then the rest of the card, draw, no one cares. Kelvin Gastelum got submitted by Vicente Luque. OG Vicente Luque, the fact this was the second fight in the night is crazy, but OG Vicente Luque looked absolutely sharp, taking him down, just kind of getting the submission. Weak from Kelvin Gastelum, to be honest with you, to be able to kind of just let yourself get submitted like that. You know, I don't know how Kelvin Gastelum ever fought for gold, but still, middleweight Vicente Luque is he ain't going to be staying around that long. But it was still a good scrap. This whole card was unbelievable, boys. I must say, I absolutely loved 90% of the fights. It's just the main event absolutely fucking sucked. But what do we think? What do we think about this whole shit down below, boys? Let me know what you thought, and thanks for watching.